go ahead and get started. Obviously, it wasn't the outcome that we wanted coming out here to Washington, playing a very good football team. We knew we were going to have to play a really good football game. We're going to have to play fairly mistake-free. Did not do that, obviously, in a lot of areas, and we got a lot of work to do. But I liked the fact that our players had a positive attitude throughout the game, continue to fight. I thought once we got outside the first quarter, we played fairly good football, except on special teams. Defensively, I thought we were playing really well the last 3 quarters of the game, but obviously disappointed in the outcome and some of the mistakes that were made, and especially on special teams. We've invested a lot of time on it. We've got to go back and just continue to coach those things up and make sure that everybody's on the same page with what they're supposed to do. But again, the attitude of the team in the locker room was outstanding. These guys are going to come back and continue to work, and excited about this group of young men and what they bring to the table, but disappointed in the outcome here this afternoon.
Chris, the 3 first quarter touchdowns looked very similar to us. Was it just breakdowns in press coverage, or?
Oh, that's not breakdown. I mean, they're fast. They were fast. First one, they motioned a wide receiver. They put a wide out in the backfield, motioned out. We were in a certain call where Andre Hunt had to go out and cover him, and the guy was fast. Yeah, outran him. Then we had Isaiah Wharton had a deep ball that was thrown on him. And again, it just he got outran, and then we had one on Saquon Hampton. So it's not just press. I mean, one of them came on press, another one came on a safety, and one came on linebacker that adjusted out on a guy on a motion to empty.
Chris, how would you evaluate Chris Laviano's play today?
There were some good and bads. I thought he probably took too many risks at times with the ball. And I thought he did some good things, though, especially in the second half. We were moving the ball offensively, got a little rhythm going. Got a little more comfortable with some of the short, quick passes that he was completing. To sit here and say I could give him an overall grade or anything like that, I couldn't right now today. But I thought he stood in there, and we struggled to protect the quarterback in the first quarter especially. He took some shots, had to get rid of the ball earlier than we would have wanted him to because of some pressure. But I thought he kept battling and did some good things as the game went on.
I'll go there with your offensive and defensive line. You've emphasized it so much. How did you think they played?
Offensive line, we struggled. We knew their defensive front was going to be pretty good. They're a good defensive front. They're big inside. We struggled to get movement on them. They had some speed off the outside, off the edges. Their defensive ends are athletic. We struggled to protect the quarterback with those guys in pass protection. I thought the defensive line played fairly well. We didn't get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but in the run game, I thought they were actually excellent in the run game. I thought our run defense overall was pretty good throughout the day.
You look like you played Applefield for a stretch over Muller. Was there a reason?
Chris struggled a little bit with the speed inside, and we just felt like it was time to make a switch and give Applefield a try. They were going to rotate anyway going into the game, so that wasn't a plan that Muller was going to play the whole game and take all the snaps, and Applefield wasn't going to take any. We were going to rotate him, but Chris had struggled early on in the game with some of the speed, and we put Applefield in there. And I think he played okay, but again, until we watched the film, I couldn't give an accurate grade.
Down 24-0, you have to remind them that this is a long game, a long process.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that going into the game, and we obviously came here to win the game. And I thought we had great preparation going into the game, but this is a good football team we played. They got speed. They're big up front on the defensive line, and we knew that it was going to be a challenge, and we were going to have to play, again, a pretty mistake-free football game to have a chance to win, and we did not do that. But we did talk to them extensively about, hey, the first 8 months here of our tenure has gone extremely well. It's been very smooth, but at some point that's going to change, and how are we going to respond? And I thought our guys kept their composure. I thought the attitude was good on the sideline. I thought it was good in the locker room at halftime. Nobody flinched, nobody panicked, and we came out and continued to play.
You have that first bump in the road, and how do you approach them next week? How do you go forward from this point?
You just keep working. That's it. We got a lot of things to continue to get better at. We've been practicing hard for the last 4 weeks. Guess what? We're going to continue to practice hard for the next 11 weeks of the season. So that won't change. We'll identify the things that we maybe have to spend a little more time on and see if some of the things we're asking guys to do, can we continue to do them. But we're going to continue to work. That's what we'll do, and hopefully we'll continue to get better.
What happened on that 4th and 1 in the first quarter where you had to take the timeout? Were you thinking of going for it?
No, I mean, we had a headset issue. I was yelling punt, and for some reason I had a headset malfunction, and nobody could hear it. So they weren't sure what we were going to do, but that's what happened. So we had a headset issue throughout the first half until we changed out headsets several times in the first half. Finally found a solution at halftime.
Another fourth down question in the second quarter. Was that just out of the range for a comfortable field goal, or did you decide you wanted to?
Yeah. I mean, right now, we have a particular range that we feel good about being able to make kicks and make field goals. And if we're not in there, then we're either going to go for it or potentially pooch punt it. And there's an area there we call the go zone, and we got to make those decisions based on how we feel the game is going.
Did Bonagora give you a little confidence kicking a 38-yarder and the other field goal late?
Yeah, I thought he did a nice job. Really did. I'll be honest, he struggled during training camp, and that's partly why our go zone is where it's at. But coming out of this game and watching what he did, he looked like he gained confidence in himself, especially out there. You guys may think it's simple, but just going out there to kick an extra point the way he did, he just looked confident. His approach was smooth, and he swung just nice and easy. And I really liked what I saw out of him today.
Aside from the quarterback, overall, your thoughts on the offense, the playmakers, the blocking?
I thought Janarian Grant had an outstanding game. I think Janarian battled the whole game, and he was all over the field. He was back at punt return, kick return, a wide out, at quarterback, did a lot of things. I thought he did a nice job. We again, going back to the beginning, we struggled up front on the offensive line to get movement on their defensive line. They're going to be one of the best defensive lines we probably face this year, based on what I've seen. And we struggled to get movement. So we didn't block in the run game as well as we would want to, and we didn't protect the quarterback as well as we wanted to. And they had something to do with that because they're fairly athletic also.
The third and fourth quarters, did you seem to see Chris progressed as the game went on? Is that why you stuck with him? Because it seems like you could have got somebody else some experience there too.
There's no chance. I mean, Chris is still a relatively inexperienced quarterback too. He's won the job, and he didn't do anything in that game for me to feel like, hey, we got to pull the kid. He was out there battling and trying to make plays. What he needs to learn is when he does run the ball, he's got to protect the ball and go down and not put the ball in harm's way or his body in harm's way. I appreciate his toughness and willingness to throw his body around in there, but he's got to protect the football. So we got to work on that a little bit. Obviously, in training camp, he was protected. All the quarterbacks were protected. They weren't taking hits. So that's not something he's done a lot of, and that's something that we got to continue to coach through and work through with him. That when you are a runner, how to protect the ball and protect yourself.
If he had been injured or something, would it have been Allen next? You had never let us know who the number.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's still right now. Gio probably would have been the first quarterback in after Laviano if something would have happened.
You mentioned Janarian battling. When you say I know they still scored, but when he prevented that pick six, is that the kind of thing you like to see?
Oh, absolutely. I saw it happen on the field. I watched the replay on the big screen, and what happens with a lot of guys that don't have buy-in or belief in what you're doing or love of their teammates, they stop and they quit. And there was no quit in Janarian today. It was an interception, and he ran the guy down and prevented them from scoring there, and ended up scoring anyway. But the fact that he did that says a lot about who he is.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Chris.